Morning, everybody. It is February 7th, 8:10 a.m. Welcome to my channel. Um, this market's been. Yesterday was weird. The way that ES SPY traded, it's like a little bit of a barcode. Nasdaq had some weakness because of tech. Microsoft, little weak, as well as Meta, a little weak. But NVDA was really like the stock that pulled back. The reason why is 700 is a huge positive gamma level in NVIDIA. It was up there pre-market, and I was like, oh boy, this is probably going to be profit-taking city here, because there wasn't much gamma levels above that, and that's what happened. And then what did the Qs do? Right? Had some weakness, and the rest of the market wasn't that weak, right? Just communications and really tech, and it made another attempt at a low, but then made a higher low. So you have one test that area of support, then you had a higher low and another higher low. And probably this higher low is the last one. And today, I would say there's a good possibility of a breakout. Again, this is all probabilities. A lot of earnings came in after market yesterday and before the open today. We'll get into that a little bit. But without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use volume profile, market profile to find structure in the market. Also use gamma levels, right? Supply and demand, and the most traded price of the year, the rolling month, the rolling week, and the previous day. Just keeps me on the right side. Try to stick with the strength. So strength meaning pretty much. Don't get me wrong, you can do an intraday short, but I kind of would like to stick with the bulls. It's a hard market to short right now. That's about it. So hopefully you subscribe, set an alert to my channel. I do this every morning at 8:10 a.m. Okay, if you do like what you see, please give me a thumbs up, a like. That would be much appreciated. You could also follow me on X at Gonzo719. Okay, so we can get right into the futures watch list. Okay, and let's just see what we have going on here. Now, crude has come down again, but now it's starting to bottom out again. We might even look at that a little later. It's hovering around the most traded price of this year and of a year ago. Big level. Okay, and once it leaves this level, it will be a pretty big move. Okay, it's coiling up. China, that is not doing good. It's not good. It's the largest importer of crude. So we have to see with crude. All right, it's been faking people out. I've been very patient with it. So that is up 0.8. Nasdaq is up 0.38. ES is up 0.25. The Russell's up 0.23. The Dow is up 0.12. Bitcoin is pretty much flat, but up 0.09. Okay, 10-year yield should. This is going back and forth every day. Should rise a little bit. Okay, 30-year bonds looks like they're being sold a little bit. So gold is down 0.16. The dollar is down 0.19. Ether is down 0.25. 30-year bonds, like I said, down 0.41. VIX down 0.46. Silver's down 0.68. Okay. Now moving on to the Mag 7 Plus. Okay. Leader, Roblox. Roblox had earnings. And needless to say, they talked about bookings. I think went up 25%, something like that. They're up 13.35% at $46 a share. Closed yesterday at 40. Big move, right? Tesla. Tesla might have been bottoming out. Let's see. They're up 1.29%. Snow's up 8.82. AMD up 0.77. And is there a laggard today? NVIDIA down 0.20, which is not much. Closed yesterday at 682, down to 680. Okay. The gamma flip point yesterday for NVIDIA was 677 and a half. So you want to see it stay above that. Now that flip point could change today because I look at those levels around 9 a.m. After I do this. So Baba had a miss in earnings, so they're down 3.58%. Okay, moving on to the top sector stocks in each sector. Eli Lilly's been a monster, and it sucks because I was looking at that around 550, and they're the Ozempic, the weight loss drug makers. So they're just keep moving. Qualcomm 0.52. Whoa, what the hell? Salesforce just like dropped in my list here. Qualcomm 0.42. Exxon, Chevron. All right. Now let's go to laggards. There's only one. Disney. Now Disney reports, I believe, today after the close. Yeah, today after the close. So they're getting a little negative. They kind of had a nice little move yesterday. So we have to see. Now let's look at swing trades. My swing trade list. Now a lot of earnings on this list. Okay. NVDA's reported earnings. They also got an upgrade. They are up 16%. Okay, 40 net. Also had good earnings, but interestingly got a downgrade today. But that ain't gonna matter with the earnings like that. Up 9%. Ford, they beat two. They're up 5.47%. I believe this is Emerson. They beat up 4.29. For solar, it's a sympathy play maybe for Enphase. Let's see. See, they didn't even report yet, but they're solar, just like Enphase. So, Palo Alto looks like a sympathy play with 40 net. Target got an upgrade. Dollar Tree got an upgrade. Crowd also probably sympathy with 40 net. Okay, the regional bank ETF has been getting hammered down with that bank, that New York bank. That's been really getting hammered. So maybe a little relief rally there. That's about it there. Okay. CVS also reported, but they talked about higher medical costs, still hanging on to a 0.53, 0.53 up pre-market, but who knows if that hangs on. Let's go to the laggards. Gilead reported earnings. They're down 2.21%. Palantir had a huge move yesterday. They're down, let's say 2%. What is that? TAP. They're down 1.45. EW, I forget what that is. MicroStrategy down 1%. Uber's down 0.96. They reported earnings and they had a beat, I believe. But I guess there's something there that I guess the market doesn't like or something. Not down big though. All right. That is that. We'll go back to top sector stocks. Okay. And we'll go to the sectors. All right. So discretionary leading the pack, up 0.4. That's Tesla. Okay. Technologies up 0.37. Energy's down. Up 0.22. So a lot of positive. No negative sector. No negative sector to speak of. Strongest index in the morning is the Qs, up 0.43. All right. Weakest is the Dow. All right. Let's go into some news, some calendar. All right. This week is very light on news. Also, the volume's been pretty weak. Yesterday's volume was not that strong. Let's get over to some market news, calendar, earnings. All right. Today, we have imports, exports, balance of trade. None of these are really market movers. You have crude inventories at 10:30. That is a mover in crude. Then you got a lot of Fed speak. Okay. I never heard of that guy before. Kugler, whatever. Collins, Barkin, Bowman. So a lot of Fed speak starting at 11 a.m. Could be market mover, may not be. Tomorrow, more Fed speak, jobless claims, 30-year bond auction. Okay. That is tomorrow. Is there Anything really to talk about? Not really here. Here we got Alibaba misses. Uber expects strong core profit as rideshare food delivery demand accelerates, even though they're down. So that's interesting. CVS cuts to 2024 profit forecast, so maybe people sell it at the open. It was up more earlier. Who knows? And that New York Community Bancorp stock slides as governance risk and focus. That bank's been getting destroyed. And what else here? Chipotle, the fast food chain, top market estimates for quarterly profit and sales on Tuesday, helped by its relatively wealthier clientele. That stock's just like so expensive. Um, let's just see. Enphase talked about Ford, Fortinet talked about Gilead, Snap didn't do so well either, so they're down. Now let's just see what it says about Uber. Like I said, it looks like they beat, but the ride-hailing service forecast quarterly profit and gross bookings above estimates and reported market-beating results for the holiday quarter, fueled by higher demand in its ride-sharing and food delivery businesses. The company expects adjusted earnings before interest, taxes, and depreciation and amortization of 1.26 billion to 1.34 billion in the quarter ending in March. Its net profit nearly tripled to 1.43 billion, thanks to a billion net pre-tax benefit from reevaluation of the company's equity investments. Uber said the revenue from its core ride share business grew 34%, driven in part by the outsized trip growth in Latin America and Asian Pacific markets. Delivery business revenue grew 6%, while gross bookings growth for the segment was the highest in 2 years. Yeah, I don't really know why that's down. That sounds good to me. Um, Anything else here to note? I know Target got an upgrade. Um, so Tesla, the EV maker's German plant, produced 6,000 cars in a week for the first time shortly before it halted production in late January. Okay. All right, the Walt Disney here. 12 people were rescued from a roller coaster in Hong Kong, Zealand after the ride stopped working afternoon. Police and fire service said that they deployed dozens of personnel to the site. Maybe that explains the weakness before earnings. Maybe. All right. I think we're good with that. Let's really look at earnings, what's coming up, what already reported. So, after the close yesterday, Snap, Enphase, Ford, Chipotle, Fortinet, Amgen, Gilead, Edwards, right? Before they open today, Baba, Uber, CVS, Roblox, Emerson, right? Today, after the close, PayPal, Disney, ARM, Win, Mattel. So that's what's going on with earnings. I think that's really all I wanted to cover with that. All right, we can go right into the daily charts. All right, so let's look at our little SPY here. All right, so still has not touched this 90 MA daily. Well, it has here, right, with that little weakness. And yesterday we're in this little range, so we're just consolidating, right? Higher low, higher low, higher low, holding above last month's highs, still below last week's highs. Okay, when they had that little bit of push up, right? Well, now we're queuing up. Maybe we're queuing up to go to 500, right? So where are we at now? 495.24, 495.24. We are gapping up. So gapping up pre-market. Do we break to 496 today? Possibly, right? Possibly. Qs. Let's look at this together, right? So this is very key here. So in the Qs, you had this move up the day that the ES or the SPY broke out, right? That only managed that, and then you had a couple of days where you kind of sold off, but you made a higher low, and then you made another higher low yesterday, and you closed right at last month's highs. The high was last week's highs. This is priming for a breakout here. Now, if you notice, look to the left, even these shorts right here haven't been destroyed. right? This little candle here, yes, took out a lot of this, but they really haven't. But anyway, it doesn't matter here. It's still going to be a nice move. Let's say someone had their stop loss here, maybe back here, and they didn't get hurt yet. So where are we at now? 429.19. Now it's interesting. 429.20. Look at the Qs. We're like at the upper third of the range, but the SPY is gapping up. So interesting. I like it because it gives us a chance to maybe get a pullback to ride this breakout. Hopefully that happens. I don't know. The market's nuts. That's what's going on. Okay. Let's move on to the bond market here. The crazy bond market. The crazy, crazy bond market. Let's look at this. Okay. So that bond market today is up, like I said. It's up 0.66%. It's at 4.117 yield. Okay. We're right at the 200-day moving average. And it's inclining. It's a slow, really 200-day moving average is on an incline. Okay, the 50's on a decline. You can say you got the death cross here with the 50 crossing the 200. However, we're just in this range. All right, and the bond market has to decide what it wants to do. All right, the VIX, is there fear out there? Not really. At a 12.98 VIX, not really. You need to see a 15 VIX to get some fear. And that dollar also has just been hanging around. Okay, getting a little weakness today. See, it made a 2-day high here. Now we're going back to this bottom here. 103.90 maybe. See, because it's been coming up since here, since the 100, and it's just been in an uptrend. Over to 200, hit the 100 days, now kind of pulling back. So you have to really see. This is really like based on a lot of economic data, the bond market and the dollar. So stronger dollar and higher yields put weight on equities, especially tech stocks. So we just have to see. Right now, we're in a bullish market. You can't deny that. That is that. All right, let's get over to structure. And let's get over to the market profile, environment profile, map out the plan for today. Okay, look at the composite profile. Beautiful balance. That's a bell curve right there. That is a bell curve. That's balance. Okay. Now, what did we do yesterday? That most traded price of the week is now 49.67 right here. Okay, here's the value area. 70% of the trades happened in this area. Okay, we are now above value. Okay, so I don't think I talk about this a lot. Just really quickly. So this is a profile. This is how you use volume profile, market profile. They have a value area where 70% of the trade happens, right? So if this was a house, okay, and you knew value of this house was worth, let's just say, because this is the price of the ES here, $4,967. You know that is the value. That's a value here. You don't want to pay anything above this value, right? You'd rather get it at value area low here. So you get in at a good price, and then you can carry it, right? Right now, it's over value, right? It's above value. So this doesn't have a lot of traders agreeing with the price up here. Okay? So, for me, I would like a move push up and to return back to value, or possibly we can get in at a good price to make it go higher. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense, because at the end of the day, the market's a big auction. Okay? So, we're gapping up. We got demand here, perfect area for demand. Okay, perfect area. We're above the week-to-date VWAP. We're above the month-to-date VWAP. Buyers are in control, but you do have a flat VWAPs, which basically tells you what? We're in balance. right? Now, we're breaking out a little bit. See all these shorts here, where price is here at 49.88. All right, so let's look at structure together. Now, couple key things to note. Okay, here's the nuance. Here's the nuance of market profile, buying profile. Okay, so here's the nuance, what we have here. So look at one thing here. We have 100% net long overnight. Everybody overnight is long. You are at the top of the range and going into a supply zone. Okay? Now, if you look to the left, I said yesterday, this was a weak low. I said, look at this low. It's the value area low. And I said, that's the bulls to defend. Look at where the price went, the low, yesterday. It defended it. It defended it pretty accurately. Right there. Happens to be value area low, right? Of the rolling week. So that did its job. Bulls defended it. Okay? Bulls defended that right there. Now, what do we have here? You're gapping up at the top of the range, 100% net long. Okay? And you have a weak low here. Why is it weak? Because you got the most traded price of the week now and the overnight lows together. So any kind of weakness here, you can probably expect to come into this area. Okay? Now, what is the other thing you look at when we gapping up here? Okay, you want to judge the gap. Okay, most bullish outcome. We're pushing higher, which is fine. I actually kind of like that. So we can have number one, a gap and go. Very bullish. Okay, you can have a failure to fill the gap, which a gap fill would be here, and push up. That's the second most bullish. Third most is a pullback to the gap fill. And now notice this gap fill very closely to this demand zone. If you gap fill, you can also go higher. That's all strength. Okay? I would prefer number three. All right? I'd prefer that because what's going to happen is the market takes care of old business before new business, which just means everybody's long. Okay? Let's just see if you got long here and your stop was, let's say, here. You're fine because then you had another higher low. And then you had another higher low, and then this low was defended, and now you have this, right? So if the market corrects this and people take profits, what's going to happen is you can do this, take some of that froth off, come back into this area to make the move higher. Okay? So here's our high from yesterday, here's our low from yesterday, here's the overnight low, here's the overnight high. Okay, gap up. Now, let's get into scenarios. Okay. I already laid out a couple, so this is going to be pretty quick. What I would like to see. Okay. Now, scenario one could be a gap and go. All right, you go without me then. But if we come out here, and this is really nice, is come into this supply, then you get people take some profits, you work your way back, fill the gap, and let's say you even dip into this demand and you get higher low, higher low. Well, that's going to be fuel. Okay? And then there is this high to take out. And you could make a move today. Okay? Now, we can also, because you have such big levels here, most traded price of the week, the most traded price of yesterday, and another demand zone down here. So you could even come down here, break under here. You got week to day VWAP here, you got a demand zone, and you could also do this. Okay, that could scare some buyers here. A little bit of a bear trap. All right, that's what I see. As far as it's the bears, now they do have something in their little hats. Okay, like I said, longs, 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 longs have been getting paid. Okay, they're getting paid. Now, beautiful overnight 100% net long. Everyone overnight's long. So any little bit of weakness, you're going to get a pullback. So if you're a bear, you want to see a push up and then a failure through the open, lower high, and then you could take this little trade to the gap fill, and then hopefully you can see it move down to the most traded price of the week. Now this is a lot of tough sledding for a bear. So now I have to give you the scenario if this tough sledding gets beat. So if you get through week to date VWAP, you get through the most traded price of yesterday in this demand zone and you break it, you have another demand zone to deal with in monthly VWAP. So this could be the move. If it gets through that, we're going down to 49.16, the most traded price of the year and the month. I don't know what happens, but that I have to give you that scenario. Okay? Moving on to the NASDAQ. So pretty clear plan here. Okay, moving on to the NASDAQ. All right, NASDAQ. Let's see what we have going on here. Now, the NASDAQ doesn't have a beautiful balance profile. It has a bullish imbalance to the profile. Okay? It has a bullish imbalance. It needs to get excess to make this complete profile. So the NASDAQ's in better shape to break out. Okay? Look at all these shorts that have not been hurt yet. So it's begging to break out. Okay, now yesterday, these have moved around, but now the most traded price of the month in the week is 176.50. This price held yesterday. That held the Qs in check. Okay. Now something's not right with my data. Data's not right. Oh, it's annoying. Let me see if I have time to do this real quick. Give me 1 sec. That's not what I wanted to do. I might have to update my data for some reason. Sometimes this just happens with this plugin. Hopefully this happens fairly quickly. I just noticed the data is wrong. Hopefully it comes back fairly quickly. I apologize. Also have to take my daughter to the bus, so we're going to be wrapping it up soon. I just want to see this NASDAQ that I did get long yesterday towards the lows and had a nice excursion on my trade, and then was like, oh my, this is going to break out, it's going to be beautiful. I was like, this is a swing trade, there was a point where I was like, let me set my stop to break even, and it was well away from my entry. And then of course the market came down and whipped me, and I was like, great. And now this morning, look, the market's back up. So that would have been a nice trade. I think my entry was like 426.50. The Qs are at 429.30 right now. So, oh my god, this is taking so long. This is annoying. Sorry about that. In the meantime, we could look at crude. Let's look at crude. So crude here, the most traded price of this year is 72.77. Okay, most traded price of from a year ago today is 73.99. The crude just hit that price and it's pulling back. So you're just in the middle of crap here in crude. It's really not. You need to see something. See, it made a move away, but then it came right back. China's not helping out. All right, let's see if I have this back now. I don't. Let's see if it. There we go. There we go. Hallelujah. Okay. So let's look at what I said. So you have these lows here, 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 and here. Three higher lows, setting up for the Qs. Okay. Like I said, you still have that bullish imbalance. I'm going to try to do this very quickly. So now the Qs are not gapping up like the SPY is or the ES. Okay, it's not. This pretty much has like a 90% net long as well. Only short activity is here. Okay, this is the most traded price of this year, 17,700. It's holding above that. Okay, so this is primed. Okay, this is primed. What I would like to see, okay, now this is the overnight low, overnight high. We're inside yesterday's range. Here's the high and the low. You're above week to date VWAP. You're above week to month to date VWAP. Okay, bullish, right? Above these big levels, bullish. So does it hold this level, 17,700? If it doesn't, you have this level with demand. I would like to get that level and hold the overnight low. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a weak low here. Because why? You have these big levels, much traded price of yesterday, the week, and the month right here. So if you break that, you're going to probably revisit this low or the VWAP for the month. If you defend it, we're probably breaking out. Okay? And we're in supply right now. I'm not interested in longing in supply. It is a used supply, so it's a little weaker. So let's get right into scenarios. Okay? And whoever's with me, I apologize for that delay for the data. I want to give you guys the correct data, the correct setups. Okay. Now, what am I interested in? We're pushing up. So obviously you have supply overhead. The one thing we could do is we could break out, break that supply. People take profit really quickly, and now this breakout level becomes the pullback that can make the move really skyrocket. Right? That's one. Right. Another one that I would like to see, for me personally, is to push up and not break that supply zone. Get some weakness, lower high, probably get some support here. You possibly could bounce off here. I got to put that in the cards. I would really like to come back to here, week to day VWAP, and these huge levels, this demand zone, and jump out of here, lower high, and that's the move. I don't know if that's in the cards, but that's what I would like to see. Then you get that breakout. Okay. Now in a bearish play, in this, you have supply. You have all this resistance that's been resistance for a while. Okay. So you could push up, get that move, come through the open, lower high. Now this is going to be tough sledding for the bears, but I have to give the scenario. You probably get some support here. If you move to this demand, you probably get some bounces here. But if you break that, you come down here. Now you got this weak low here. You got these single prints have not been taken out yet, which is so bullish. But if they finally get touched, you could get a push way down here and possibly move down all the way to 173.50. Like I said, the probability is lower for this, but it has to be in the cards. Okay, that's going to be it for me today. I really like these scenarios today. Hope the market agrees with them. Okay, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry for the little interruption there. So subscribe, set alert if you haven't already. Give me a big thumbs up if you do like what I showed you guys. And you could always follow me on X at Gonzo719. And that will be it for me today. I wish everybody good luck. Stay green. Stay patient. I'm going to try to stay patient for these pullbacks. They might not come, and I have to be okay with that. All right? Take it easy, everybody.